Yeah, hi small business owners, it's Harpreet Singh from Western Law Firm. So today I want to discuss about, and let's shift the gear towards the employment issues and any kind of news or things I hear about. So I think you have heard about retirement programs. Your employer provides 401k programs, and I think the smaller employers, they don't provide any programs. So there is no program to go for any employees if they want to make savings for retirement. Obviously, the employee can take proactive steps and just create their own saving account and just have those same, I think, kind of programs like IRAs or even like a normal saving account and just put money for their retirement. Obviously, I think the states also thinks about it, and one of the state is state of California, which thinks about more about employees than employers, and put more burden on employers. And I don't want to be political here, and just want to keep this video, I think, out of politics. Whatever I think your politics is, either you're conservative, you're liberal, or you're on right side, left side, or you are on center. So whatever is your politics, I just want to I think bring to your attention and want to, I think, inform about that state of California has passed the law that the employers need to enroll their employees in some kind of retirement plan, so-called, as you normally have seen, the IRAs, which are basically a retirement saving plans. So the main purpose behind that is that either the employer should have a sponsored retirement plan of their own, as like your normal 401ks or IRAs, or the state will establish the plan and they will just give it to some private firms, and the state will have a board implement which can administer those plans, or the employer can provide their own plan. So basically what the state is doing, bringing more and more people under any kind of retirement plan so people can save money and they are less dependent on their retirement age on the state's only I think, or the federal's only sponsored retirement plan, which is called Social Security. So that's the main purpose behind this law, that it puts the state doesn't call it as a burden, but state call it as, if the employer can facilitate employees to enroll in this state administered retirement plan, then it will lessen the burden on states or on Social Security, and it will help the employees to manage their savings so that in future they are not just looking at Social Security program, but they have some other avenues for their retirement income. That's their main purpose. And obviously, based on your politics, you can decide it's wrong, or the state is becoming more and more bigger. Should the state get involved in these kind of things? That's your politic to decide about, but that's the main thinking behind this program and this employer mandate, that the employer would not be liable to manage or maintain this program. Just the employer needs to facilitate the employee's enrollment in these programs, so over the time employee can have enough saving for their retirement income, so that there is less burden on the other state run programs. So what's this program called? So if suppose there is no independent employer sponsored program, then the employer is required to enroll employees in called Cal Savers program. So it's called CALSAVERS. So this Cal Savers program is basically a Roth IRA, which is an independent retirement savings account. So I will not, because my role or my expertise is not in any kind of personal finance, but still that's the basic account. I think IRA, you know about it. It's basically a retirement saving account. You just put your savings, and you are not able to get those savings, I think, before certain age. And if I'm right, it's I think 62 or 65, and you just contribute over that, and you can able to, I think, also get a tax deduction over your gross income. So how this program will work, it is called Cal Savers, and the state will have a board set up where I think the California treasurer would be the chairman of the board, and the board will give a contract to administer this program to a private company, and the investments actually will be managed by a private banking. It's, I think, maybe New York Mellon Bank. So they will offer like different plans. As you have your mutual fund, they will offer different kind of plans where you can put your savings in, and over the time, based on the market, it will grow. So these would be like basically a target funds. So in this Cal Saver program, if the employer doesn't provide an independent sponsored plans like 401ks to their employees, so these employer mandate, it depends. It starts from, you need to have at least 5 or more employees to fulfill the requirement of this mandate. If suppose you only have 3 employees which are on W2, then you don't have to fulfill anything. But if you have 4 and more employees, like basically you're paying them at the end of the year, you're providing them W2, and so that's your mode of payment. Obviously, again, the issue will come up, because if you are giving your employees 1099s, and if you have more than 5 people like that, then again you have to evaluate, because then the recent law AB 5 will come into play about how many employees you have basically instead of independent contractor. Because if you have running your business, especially I think if you run your business on commissions, and your structure of running your business is such like that you have like 10 independent contractors, and you are running all your assignments based on that, then probably there can be issue in future. Any of your independent contractor based on AB 5 can say that I am an employee and I am not an independent contractor. If the state looks at that practice and decides that all these independent contractors are employees, then again you will, I think, be in this trouble of not designating your employee as your independent contractor as employee, and then you will deal with penalties with that you have not enrolled your employees which you were supposed to enroll after 30 days of their employment. In this Cal Saver programs, there would be another penalties, because this is a new setup. So obviously more regulations will come in future. But how it will phase out? So it will roll out in future if suppose you have 5 or more employees. So by June 30, 2021, so those kind of employers need to provide the enrollment to their employees in this state-sponsored retirement savings program. So for employers which have more than 50 employees, their deadline is July 30, 2021. And for 5 plus more employees, the deadline is July 30th, 2022. So for smaller employers, you still have time. So you can think about 2.5 years. So if you are a bigger employer, 100 plus, then your deadline starts from this June 2020. So obviously your employer will contact you, and your employer needs to enroll you. If suppose within 30 days of employment, you didn't opt out of this state sponsored retirement plan, your employer need to provide the state and registered you and automatically enroll you into this retirement program, and your starting contribution starts from 5%. So it will automatically get started. An account is created, so your employer will deduct like 5% of your gross income towards this state run retirement savings plan, and it will show up on your wage statement, and it will get deducted, I think, at every pay period until you just opt out. And every end of the year your contribution will increase by 1%. Again, you have to opt out, and your employer needs to provide some kind of notice to you, I think 60 days before your escalation of 1%. So that escalation will remain at max to 8%. So that means like after 3 years of your employment, your maximum contribution will go to 8%. And you will get the opportunity to again opt out if you don't want to be in the plan. You can just provide I think notification to your employer, and then employer can just get you out from this program. But it is the mandate on the employer, it is required by the state that the employer should automatically enroll and re-enroll all the employees in this plan. Or the employer should offer their own sponsored independent either 401k, IRA, or whatever retirement plan they can provide to get out of this requirement. So I think again the big question will come if you are hiring, I think, more independent contractor, and if you're dealing with them as independent contractor in terms of your billing, the big issue would be are these people are your employees or not? Because if they are your employees, then obviously you're not meeting these requirements, and there would be penalties and audit by a state. So I think you can think about when state comes behind you, they will come behind you with full force. So again, I think you need to discuss with your legal counsel first the people which you are dealing with. Either you're dealing with the business, I think people which you're designating as independent contractor. Under current law, are they independent contractor or are they employees? Because it's really very, very important thing. So in future, I will bring video about AB 5, which is the new law, which talks about how a person becomes an employee, who has the burden to prove that this person is employee or an independent contractor. I will talk about different exemption provided under the law, and also a tussle which is going on at present between businesses and the state, and what are the recent courts ruling, how it will affect certain industries, especially the trucking industry. So in future, I will bring multiple videos on that because it's a very big topic, and it would be really hard to cover in one video. So about this ScalSaver program, so if suppose the employer doesn't do anything, doesn't provide the state with a list of employees, and doesn't provide the state with like automatic enrollment of these employees in this ScalSaver program, so what are the penalties? So for first non-compliance, it's $250 per employee. So if you remain non-compliant for another next 90 days after you receive notice from the state of non-compliance, then your penalty increases to $500 per employee. So if you have 10 employees, then that's your $5,000, and obviously it just keeps on increasing as you don't comply. So you have to make sure that there is this requirement coming up and it has its own teeth, and the state is very good at recovering those penalties. Either it will recover if you have a properly set up business, obviously through the taxes part of it, or they can obviously put a lien on your house if if that asset belongs to your business, if suppose you're not properly running your corporation or your entities as a separate entity, then they can again come at your residence, put a lien on that, and interest and all those other things grows up. So I think it was a very interesting news to just share with you, so that people know about this upcoming state mandate to the employers. Either you are smaller employer, a mid employer, or a bigger employer who have more than 100 employees. So now the state has looked to provide each and every employee a state-run and retirement saving plan. And one of the reasons behind, as I discussed with you, that state want to see that people don't put more burden on Social Security or other state-run programs. And also there is an AARP study that people are more inclined, like 20%, like 20 times people will save more money if they are enrolled in some kind of an automatic saving plan. So people will put aside more money for their own retirement if there is some kind of automatic, I think, savings which was done from their accounts. That makes sense. And I think even if you look your habits, you keep aside more savings automatically if you set up. I think even at present you can set up, I think, automatic contribution in your own saving account through your checking account. Either it's $100, $500. So you are more inclined to save, I think, more in future if you have some kind of automatic saving plan. Again, I don't want to get into politics of it. Either you like more state mandate, you don't like it, but that's the law. So you have to follow that and facilitate your employees to have some kind of retirement plan, either it's state run or your individual sponsored plan. So in future, I would like to bring videos more on about employment issues, and obviously in the next coming videos we'll discuss about AB5 and what are the consequences of that, and how the businesses are dealing with it. So thanks for watching this video, and see you in the next video.